pouring drinks in a town I'd never heard of. Name tag crooked on your flannel shirt, laughing with the locals like you've known them forever. I was just a stranger tracking down my herd. Boots full of gravel, dust on my jacket, truck full of boxes and goodbye plans. He slid me a coffee on the house real quiet, said you look tired, take a minute if you can. I wasn't looking for a long ride, just a tank of gas and a place to hide. But your smile turned a stop into a start. Now every road I take, every mile, every scar keeps leading down these back roads to your heart. Yeah, somehow all these back roads keep running to your heart. You asked what brought me way out where the map ends. I said just trying to outrun yesterday. You said I get that, but eventually it catches. Then you pointed out the window at the fields of hay. Said you can plant that pain or you can burn it. Either way it's gonna change the ground. I didn't know it then, but in that moment you were turning my whole story around. I wasn't looking for a long ride, just a tank of gas and a place to hide. But your voice turned to silence into art. Now every road I take, every mile, every scar keeps leading down these back roads to your heart. Yeah, somehow all these back roads keep running to your heart. Closed up early on a Tuesday night, said let's go watch the sun fall off that ridge. We sat on the tailgate sharing cold fried chicken, swinging worn out boots from that rusted bridge. She told me about the daddy that never came home, the first boy who left you at the county fair. How you learned to dance alone in your bedroom till you didn't need somebody standing there. And I've been the kind to leave before the leaving, to pull away before the engine starts. But you held your gaze like you believed in all the broken things inside my heart. I wasn't looking for a long ride, just a passing face on a quiet night. But your hand found mine in the dark. Now every road I take, every mile, every scar keeps leading down these back roads to your heart. Yeah, somehow all these back roads keep running to your heart. We painted that spare room a Sunday yellow. You hummed off key with the radio on. I tripped on the ladder, you laughed till you cried. I swear that sound could raise the dawn. Burned the first biscuit, smoked out the kitchen, dog tracking footprints on the hardwood floor. We kissed in the hallway through the sprinklers dripping, like we couldn't ask this life for more. Than your mama called crying on a Thursday, doctor's words heavy hanging in the air. You tried to fold the grief up, keep it tidy, but it felt like laundry on a kitchen chair. We drove through the night to that big white building. You stared at your hands, I watched you shake. I said I don't have answers, I just got presents. I'm not going anywhere, come whatever breaks. I wasn't made for all the right lines, I still get tongue-tied at the worst times. But you let my quiet do its part. Now every road I take, every mile, every scar keeps leading down these back roads to your heart. Yeah, somehow all these back roads keep running to your heart. We've had storms that rattled every window, fights that left my truck door slammed. Nights I slept facing the drywall, wondering who the hell I am. But every dawn there's coffee on the counter, the way you say my name so soft. And I remember in the small things that real love don't trade, it just costs. Last week I found a ring in a used case showcase, tiny little diamond with a crooked shine. Salesman said it ain't much, but it's honest. I said, dust motes dancing in the afternoon light. The kitchen window pane. Caught a glint off that old silver frame on the mantelpiece, just the same as it's been since you went away. A faded photograph, crinkled at the edges, shows a summer day. Sun on our young faces, a love so clear, like water in the river, now just a memory, a silent, lonely shiver. Remember that old Ford, rust on the bumper? We drove it down to Miller's Creek. Felt like kings, no need to speak. Just the sound of the tires, a steady rhythm squeak, and your hand in mine so soft and weak. A faded photograph, crinkled at the edges, shows a summer day. Sun on our young faces, a love so clear, like water in the river, now just a memory, a silent, lonely shiver. Said, boy, don't you rush it, but your laugh pulled me in like a moth to a flame, a sweet, sweet sin. Never thought our story would ever thin, or that joy would ever truly begin to end. A faded photograph, crinkled at the edges, shows a summer day. Sun on our young faces, a love so clear, like water in the river, now just a memory, a silent, lonely shiver. Met you where the gravel meets the Busted County line. You were stealing cherries from the back of someone's vine. Dust on your boots, laugh lines in your smile. Said you wanna see trouble, ride with me a while. You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. You talk with your hands when you're mad, you pace the floor, you slam the screen door cussing, then come kiss me at the door. Yeah, you burn every dinner, we just laugh and call it fate. Say, who needs a recipe when love still fills the plate? You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. We got a crooked mailbox leaning like it knows our names, a dog that won't stop barking at the kids at ball games. You leave notes on napkins in my worn-out work truck cab. Drive safe, come home, you're still the best I ever had. You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. One day we'll be wrinkled, moving slow across this floor, counting all the little rings from glasses on this table board. If my memory fades and the names all slip away, I'll still know that rhythm that's been drumming every day. You're my back road heartbeat, thumping in my chest so loud. My Sunday morning, my Friday night, my quiet prayer, my rowdy crowd. When the world starts shaking and I don't know who I am, you're my back road heartbeat, I'll follow it again. So when they lay me down under red dirt, under sky, play that simple song of us, let it echo, let it ride. Cause love ain't in the headstones, it's the echo in your chest. You're my back road heartbeat, baby, you can keep the rest. Oh yeah. Met you where the gravel turns back into clay, red dust on your sandals, sun dying away. You laughed at my pickup, said that thing still runs. I said it gets me through the mud and under setting suns. You're my back road to your heart, no map, no marked off line, just a busted up truck and your hand in mine. We got miles and miles of maybe in a sky that's falling dark. I don't need a highway, baby, you're my back road to your heart. Climbed in the front seat, feet up on the dash, radio half crackling, old pictures in the glass. Told me about your leaving and all you had to prove. I said I ain't scared of distance if it keeps me next to you. Every fence post, every leaning tree, that old rusted mailbox where you first kissed me. Moonlight on the mirror, your hair a tangled mess. You whispered, can you feel it? I choked on my yes. Yeah, thought it'd be forever, young and wild and sure. Didn't see the storm clouds rolling past your door. You're my back road to your heart, no marked off line, just a busted up truck and your hand in mine. We got miles and miles of maybe in a sky that's falling dark. I don't need a highway, baby, you're my back road to your heart. You left with the sunrise, threw bags in your Said I'll call you Sunday. I watched you drive too far. Weeks turned into winters, small talk turned to snow. Buried all the letters in the field behind the road. I tried chasing bright lights, I tried chasing pay, but every single payday just felt like a way on my back road to your heart. No marked off line, just a busted up truck and your hand in mine. We got miles and miles of maybe in a sky that's falling dark. I don't need a highway, baby, you're my back road. Years go like taillights fading out of view. I swore I was over everything about you, till I saw that same sandlot, heard that same screen door, and your shadow on the porch like the night before. You said I got tired of leaving, tired of starting new. Every map I ever followed kept on pointing back to you. You're my back road to my home, to the place I wanna be. Every wrong turn that I took kept curving back to we got miles and miles of mercy and a second-hand fresh start. I don't need a highway, baby, you're my back road to my heart. Yeah. Now there's boots by the doorway, 2 mugs in the sink, your jacket on my chair, your lipstick on the rim, that pink. Mornings taste like coffee and your shoulder on my chest. Nights feel like a long drive where we never need to rest. Sometimes we get stubborn, sometimes we slam doors, but we always circle back to that gravel road of ours. You're my back road to my heart, rough and full of turns. Every fight, every kiss, just another curve we learn. We got miles and miles of living in a truck that barely starts. I don't need a highway, baby, you're my back road to my heart. Yeah. You're my back road to my heart. Yeah. Engine never, engine never. Bet you're leaning on a rusted Ford, dust on your boots, sun on your shoulders. You laughed at every word I said like you've been waiting to get closer. You stole my ball cap, wore it sideways, bare feet on the dashboard singing along. Name on your cup in black marker already sounded like a future song. This kind of love ain't burning out by tomorrow. It's tailgate to tomorrow, county line to who knows where. This kind of love grows wild in the gravel like flowers by the travel of these ties we're making where. If it's up to me, we'll ride it till the road runs out of map and air. This kind of love ain't going anywhere. First fight was over something small. You slammed that screen door, gravel flying. I sat staring at the bedroom wall, swearing I was done with trying. Then you pulled up in that midnight rain, headlights cutting through my pride. You said, I hate being mad at you. I said, get in, let's go for a ride. This kind of love ain't burning out by tomorrow. It's tailgate to tomorrow, county line to who knows where. This kind of love grows wild in the gravel like flowers the travel of these ties we're making where. If it's up to me, we'll ride it till the road runs out of map and air. This kind of love ain't going anywhere. We've been broke, been late on rent, paid in quarters at the laundromat, burned our dinner, laughed it off, danced in the kitchen just like that. Oh yeah, watched your tears on a bathroom floor, both of us scared of the test you held. Turned to me and said, if it's two lines I said, that's just more love to be felt. This kind of love ain't burning out by tomorrow. It's tailgate to tomorrow, baby seats and folding chairs. This kind of love grows wild in the gravel like flowers by the travel of these years we're stacking here. If it's up to me, we'll ride it till the road runs out of map and air. On the hallway wall, first day of school, smile Sunday best. You still steal my shirts at night, still find your head on my chest. Your hair's a little lighter now, my hands got callous lines on my face, but you still look like that county fair. First prize in a cotton dress race. This kind of love ain't burning out by tomorrow. It's tailgate to tomorrow, front porch swings and rocking chairs. This kind of love grows wild in the gravel like flowers by the travel of our stories laid there. If it's up to me, we'll ride it till the road runs out of map and air. This kind of love ain't going anywhere. This kind of love ain't going anywhere. One day they'll lower down that flag, church bells ringing over clay. Carve my name beside an old oak tree right beneath the one that holds your name. But don't you fear that closing scene. Love don't lay down in the ground, it rides on in every laugh, every little echo of our sound. Hey, this kind of love ain't burning out by tomorrow. It's tailgate to tomorrow, from right now into who knows where. This kind of love grows wild in the gravel like flowers by the travel of the hearts we're leaving there. If it's up to me, I'll meet you where the road runs out of map and air. This kind of love, this kind of love ain't going anywhere, yeah. Sun coming up on your old screen door, coffee in your cup, bare feet on my floor. You laugh at my hair, say I sleep too late, but you still kiss my cheek, say we're gonna be great. Your suitcase sat there by that crooked chair. I memorized every thread, every scar, every tear, till the day it was gone and you backed down the drive, and the dust from your tires took the light from my eyes. But you came back anyway, pulled in slow like a prayer. I forgot how to pray all night. I'm fine, fell apart in your name. Every mile you drove washed away my blame. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you turned that wheel and you changed our fate, baby. I pushed your heart away and you came back anyway. and said you wanted the truth. I hid behind pride like a worn-out shield, too scared of the hurt that you made me feel. You circled your finger around your paper cup, said I can't keep falling just to watch you get up. I watched you walk out through that glass and chrome, and I called that night freedom, but it felt like alone. Still you came back anyway, like a song on the wind I once threw away. All my goodbyes, all my burning bridges turned into smoke and second chances. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you turned that wheel and you changed our fate, baby. I pushed your heart away, and you came back anyway. There were late night bars, there were strangers' names, too loud rooms trying to drown out your flame. I laughed too hard at somebody's joke, but the quiet walk home told the truth that I spoke. I kept your note in my glove box door, folded and worn like a prayer from the war. Love isn't easy, but it's worth the scars. If you ever get brave, you know where we are. I read those lines at every red light, felt that shame in the dashboard light, till one small town sign and a midnight sky made me finally drop my pride. So you came back anyway, but not 'cause I begged, not 'cause I made you stay. You came back strong, you came back sure. Said I want your heart, but I need it pure. I swore I lost you, swore it was too late, but you stood right there at my front gate, baby. I pushed your heart away, and you came back anyway. You said I don't need perfect, I just need honest. I don't want promises if you can't keep them. But if you're still in this, if you still want us, take off your armor, let me see you bleed, then heal. So I told you about the nights that I got it wrong, all the times I left when I should've held on. Told you about my father and his slam screen doors, how I learned to run long before I learned more. You didn't flinch, didn't turn your head, just traced every crack in the words I said. You took my hand like you always had, said we can grow good from whatever's been bad, and you stayed here anyway. Even when the storm rolled in and the sky turned gray, through every fight, every bitter word, every slam down phone, every hope deferred. I swore I'd lose you, swore you'd drive away, but you packed your faith for another day, baby. I pushed your heart away, and you stayed here anyway. There's a porch swing squeak to our everyday, half-finished projects in the yard halfway, burnt toast mornings and lawn chairs at night. We're a little bit crooked, but we're holding on tight. There's a dent in your you where the gravel meets the old state line. You were drinking cherry cola, I was sipping cheap red wine. The sun was hanging crooked on a rusty welcome sign. You laughed and said you're leaving, or you're staying here this time. You had dust on your side. and a map in your hand. Said I'm following the detours more than any kind of plan. I said, girl, I get that, been running since I ran. Then your fingers brushed my jacket and the world just kinda ran. You're my back road heartbeat, racing my blood in the dark. Every mile, every memory, spelling our names in the stars. If this highway ever ends, let it end in your arms. You're my back road heartbeat, my wild, my home, my spark. We drove past a mailbox with my faded family name. You said, tell me about your goals, tell me about your shame. I watched the fields roll over like they never learned my face. Said I never felt like I belonged in any one damn place. You turned down the volume on that old dashboard glow. 'Cause everybody's running 'cause they're scared to let it show. Then you put your head against the cold glass of the door, whispered, if you wanna leave, why you circling back for more? You're my back road heartbeat, racing my blood in the dark. Every mile, every memory, spelling our names in the stars. If this highway ever ends, let it end in your arms. You're my back road heartbeat, my wild, my home, my spark. We found that busted diner with the flickering open sign. You stole all my French fries, I stole little looks sometimes. You said, love ain't fireworks, it's coffee at 2 a.m. It's the way you say you're leaving, but you circle back again. We slow danced on the sidewalk to a song from inside. The waitress lit a cigarette and gave a tired smile. You spun underneath the neon in your threadbare jeans. Said, if this ain't forever, it's the closest that I've seen. You're my back road heartbeat, racing my blood in the dark. Every mile, every memory, spelling our names in the stars. If this highway ever ends, let it end in your arms. You're my back road heartbeat, my wild, my home, my spark. I've loved like a landslide, fast and gone too soon. I've loved like a thunderstorm, shaking every room. But this feels like sunrise, slow on your bedroom wall, like the quiet in your laughter when you finally trust a fall. Now there's boots on your doorstep and a dog by a gate. Your sweater on my chair and your hair in my pillowcase. My mom keeps calling just to hear you on the line. She says, boy, she's got that kindness we've been praying you would find. Your toothbrush in my bathroom looks like it always belonged. We burn the eggs each Sunday while we hum the same old song. You kiss me in the kitchen, smell of coffee, toast, and rain. Say you think this road we're taking never circles back again. You're my back road heartbeat, racing my blood in the dark. Every mile, every memory, spelling our names in the stars. If this highway ever ends, let it end in your arms. You're my back road heartbeat, my wild, my home, my spark. If the truck breaks down and the money runs thin, you were pouring that third cup of coffee, Saturday crowd half asleep, sun sneaking in through the blinds there, dust dancing over your cheeks. You laughed at my worn-out ball cap, said, boy, that thing's seen some roads. I said, yeah, but I ain't seen nothing like you in this old zip code. I didn't know love till that cheap cafe, till cream and sugar and your first name tag. You wrote your number on a napkin, hand kinda shook. I kept it in my wallet like a worn-out book. Now every time that sunrise hits just right on me, I go right back to that corner booth, table 3. Didn't know love till you smiled across that coffee stain. You were working 2 jobs and a night class. I was fixing up trucks down the road. We'd meet in the parking lot half-past, counting our quarters like gold. Talked about getting out someday, but we never had much of a plan. Just a beat-up Ford and a mixtape, and your fingers laced in my hand. I didn't know love till you hit on my arm. Rear view full of nothing, just a long stretch of dark. Radio crackling, but we sang our own words. 2 scared kids trying to sound sure. Now when I see a long road running out so free, I'm back in that truck, you're humming off key. Didn't know love till you fell asleep. Trust in me. Your daddy said, son, she deserves better. Stared a hole straight through my shoes. I said, sir, I ain't got much money, but I swear I'll never quit choosing her, win or lose. He looked at you standing beside me, hair pinned up, hands in a fist. Then his voice got low and shaky when he said, take care of my kid. We didn't have a big church, just a borrowed white dress. Your mama cried in the front row. I was trying to steady my breath. I didn't know love till that courthouse ring. 40 bucks in my pocket, but it felt like a king. Your I do barely whispered, but it shook my bones. We walked out laughing, calling 4 walls home. Now every time I hear some old vows on TV, I remember your hand trembling, saying them to me. Didn't know love till forever sounded that sweet. First winter, the pipes all froze on us. We slept in our coats for a week. You burned the toast, I killed the heater. We both just stared and then screamed. And you started laughing in that kitchen, barefoot on that cracked linoleum floor. Said, if this is the worst it gets, babe, we're gonna make it, I'm sure. Summers you planted them daisies out by the rusted front gate. I got that second shift promotion. You taped my name up on the fridge with some tape. We'd dance in your old warm pajamas to some slow song humming through the wall. You'd stand on my feet like you always did, like we were kids in a high school hall. I didn't know love till we had nothing left, just a leaky roof, 2 beating chests, eating cold beans on a card table, laughing till 2, saying one day this'll be the good old days, wanted you and me too. Now when the bills pile up and the world seems mean, I see you swaying in that yellow porch light beam. Didn't know love till broke felt rich with you and me. We've been rich, we've been poor, we've slammed a few doors, we've said some words we didn't mean, but you're still that girl with the coffee ink on your finger smiling at me. So if this old truck quits tomorrow and the bank comes calling our name, you can take all I've ever borrowed, just leave me your heart. Met you leaning on a rusted Ford, boot heel tapping on a 2x4. Sun going down in a blaze out west, laugh on your lips, dust on your dress. If this is love, then let it ride like a long dirt road in the midnight. chasing tailgate constellations out past every old frustration. You drew a heart in the county fair dust, said it ain't much, but it's enough. We shared fries and a paper cup shake, kissed so hard that the world got laid. If this is love, then let it ride like a long dirt road in the midnight. Windows down, your hand in mine, old tape hiss and a crack brake light. If this is love, I don't wanna land, just circle this town in a beat-up van. You and me, chasing tailgate constellations out past every old frustration. One day we'll trade this busted bed for a creaking porch and a roof instead, but keep that wild in your eyes, my friend. Oh yeah, we'll still get lost on a dead-end bend. If this is love, then let it ride like a long dirt road in the midnight. Windows down, your hand in mine, old tape hiss and a crack brake light. If this is love, I don't wanna land, just circle this town in a beat-up van. You and me, chasing tailgate constellations. You and me, chasing tailgate constellations. Met you at a rundown diner, coffee cold, my hands were too. You laughed at how the sugar spilled, so guess it means I'm staying a few. Sunset in the broken blinds, painted stripes across your face. You were talking about leaving town, I was falling right there in that place. You drew hearts on a napkin, said you did it when you're bored. You tucked it in my flannel pocket like a quiet little word. I walked you to that gravel lot where your mama's pickup sat. You said love just ain't my strong suit, but my heart said I can live with that. If this old world keeps spinning wild, you're the stillness in my storm. Every back road, every mile feels like home when you're in my arms. From the first hello to the last goodbye, from the first wrong turn that turned out right. If love is just a moment passing by, then let me love you for the rest of my life. 2 years in that small apartment, leaking roof and crooked floor, hand-me-downs and hand-washed dishes, your boots by a squeaky door. We kept changing out the light bulbs, trying to chase the dark away, but the brightest thing in that old place was your bare feet dancing in the frame. We fought about the little things, like who forgot to lock the gate. You'd roll your eyes, I'd raise my voice, we'd both throw pride in the wrong place. Then you'd pour us 2 cheap glasses of that wine we never liked. Say, baby, we can lose this battle long as love still wins tonight. If this old world keeps spinning wild, you're the stillness in my storm. Every back road, every mile feels like home when you're in my arms. From the burned out bulbs to the busted pipe, from the slammed doors to the made up nights. If love is just a moment passing by, then let me love you for the rest of my life. Your daddy never liked me much, said I dreamed more than I planned. You stood there in that churchyard with my ring on your left hand. He shook mine like it hurt his bones, but it pulled me kinda near. Whispered, boy, you better hold her when the weight gets too much to bear. We drove off in that same old truck, tin cans dragging on the road. You were humming some worn out tune about forever. Wheels rolled by like movie scenes, scarecrows bowing as we passed. You leaned over, kissed my shoulder, said, promise me that this will last. If this old world keeps spinning wild, you're the stillness in my storm. Every back road, every mile feels like home when you're in my arms. From the cheap bouquet to the crooked cake, from the first night fears to the vows we made. If love is just a moment passing by, then let me love you. There were nights we almost lost it, bills piled high and hope ran thin. I took work that stole my sleep, you took shifts that stole your grin. But every time I reach for you, half asleep in that old bed, you mumble, we're gonna make it. I believe those words you said. We hung pictures of our summers at the lake and at the fair. Your hair tangled by the Ferris wheel, cotton candy everywhere. You kept every little ticket stub in a box beneath our sink. Said one day we'll show our babies where their mama used to drink. Then that blue line on a Monday changed the count of every day. Suddenly the kitchen tiles felt too small to hold our faith. You cried laughing on my shoulder, with your hands across your waist. I knelt. You pouring coffee at the Flying J, name on your tag said ain't your rate. You laughed when I asked if you believed in fate, said only when it shows up early, never late. Boots on towel, rain on the diesel tanks, your hair tucked up in that ball cat. Thanks for the extra cream and the second glance, for the quiet maybe in a stranger's chance. You're the back roads of my heart, girl, the long way home I always take. Every mile, every fence line, every wrong turn that I make leads me right back to your front porch, to your bare feet on that old pine floor. You're the back roads of my heart, girl. I ain't searching anymore. First day Friday at the county fair, you said I hate crowds, but you met me there. Grease on our fingers from a paper plate, you stole my fries, said boy you're late. Ferris wheel shaking when it reached the top, you grabbed my arm, said please don't stop. Your eyes found mine in the carnival light, I forgot every heartbreak I'd had that night. You're the back roads of my heart, girl, the long way home I always take. Every mile, every fence line, every wrong turn that I make leads me right back to your front porch, to your bare feet on that old pine floor. You're the back roads of my heart, girl. I ain't searching anymore. Summer bled into September gold, truck bed blankets when the nights turned cold. You traced your name in the window fog, said promise me we won't get lost in the fog. I showed you the spot where the river bands, where Daddy used to fish with his old best friends. You listened quiet when my voice turned raw, then kissed the hurt out of every scar you saw. I'd been running from town to town, from one half smile to the next let down. You said, sit still, boy, I feel that wind. Some things you don't outrun, you let them in. You're the back roads of my heart, girl, the long way home I always take. Every mile, house with the leaning shed, dealing pain in a rusted bed. You laughed, said Vegas just like us, a little run down, but it's worth the trust. You planted roses by the mailbox post, hung our pictures where we needed them most, handwritten notes on the fridge door glass. Take the trash out and please let the small things pass. Love ain't fireworks in a summer sky, it's dishes in the sink and the reasons why you stay when the storms roll over the roof. It's saying I'm sorry before you have the proof. We fall like thunder on a Tuesday night. Just slam that door, I killed the light. I slipped sideways on the edge of the bed. Stubborn pride where your warmth once spread. Sun came up on a mess of pride. 2 bucks, 1 note on the counter side. You wrote, I'm still here, just had to breathe. I don't walk out on the love another day, another dollar wasted time. Same old street, same old sign. Nothing changes, nothing moves on this assembly line.
My heart's a wrenched, turning slow, rust on the gears, nowhere to go. But then you walked in, a flicker, a spark, a new spin.
Oh, this rust belt heartbreak, yeah, this rust belt heartbreak, tearing me down, building me up, for goodness sake. This rust belt heartbreak,
Oh, this rust belt heartbreak,
breaking the mold, for love's sweet sake.
smokestacks coughing out the night, shadows dancing in the pale moonlight. Every promise, every fight felt like giving up on what was wrong or right. My spirit, a busted fuse, nothing left to gain, nothing left to lose. But then your eyes met mine,
A whiskey sunrise, a perfect sign. Oh, this rust belt heartbreak, yeah, this rust belt heartbreak, tearing me down, building me up, for goodness sake. This rust belt heartbreak,
oh, this rust belt heartbreak,
breaking the mold, for love's sweet sake.